Horrendous details are emerging about the attack on the Ballymena schoolgirl that sparked off the violence and widespread madness across Northern Ireland a month or so ago. This had been building up for a very, very long time in the area. There had been several assaults on young girls, 13-year-old girls, by certain members of the community, let's just say, and this all came to a head in June. I'm going to show you a video where details have emerged and also the shocking lies that were told to try and release one of these alleged perpetrators into a bail address where they lied about who they were going to stay with. They claimed it was a family member and it wasn't. And in the house that one of these perpetrators was due to be sent to if they had got bail, there were young children in that house, one of whom was a 14-year-old girl. Unbelievable. And another one of them has scarpered back to Romania. What a mess. So the headline reads here, and then I'll play you the video, and then I'll look at these bail conditions. You just got to see this to believe it. This isn't being talked about widely. You have to dig a little bit deeper for that one. But anyway, Ballymena schoolgirl raped in inverted commas after being dragged into a garage by three males, a court hears. Two of the suspects were arrested within hours of the incident on the 7th of June this year. A third has fled back to Romania. So that's the background. More details are emerging. Let's look at them right now.
Empty homes, boarded up windows, tensions spilling over after the alleged rape of a schoolgirl 2 days before this. For the first time, details of what allegedly happened, now revealed as one of the two Romanian boys charged, applied for bail. Neither can be identified because of their age. The court was told the schoolgirl was walking along a street here in the town on June the 7th when she was dragged into a garage and subjected to a violent sex attack by three males. Two of the alleged perpetrators were arrested just hours later. A third suspect has since fled to Romania.
So the two that were arrested, I believe, were 14 years of age. The third has fled to Romania. I would have thought you would have had to been at least, 18 years of age to have fled out of the country on your own, needing travel documents and having bought a means of travel, whether it be by boat, whether it be by air. So two have been detained, one has scarpered. I'm thinking out loud here, just maybe this wasn't a teenager that has fled the scene.
Two 14-year-olds before the court are accused of attempted rape. Both deny the charges. A detective constable gave evidence and said the third suspect is alleged to have raped the schoolgirl. The officer also said it was the teenager's grandmother who first alerted the PSNI. Police then spoke to the girl herself, who claimed that once inside the garage she saw two mattresses and was ordered to get on one of them. The alleged attack lasting around 10 minutes. She managed to flee after the trio ran off after they heard a male voice outside.
Two mattresses in a garage sounds premeditated to me. Or maybe it's not the first time that this has happened, who knows, but it certainly, allegedly, has happened to this young girl. Imagine her grandmother having to make the call to the police. Imagine her grandmother having to make that call, finding out what had happened to her granddaughter, her 13-year-old granddaughter. Three men dragging a child into a filthy garage, two mattresses on the floor, waiting there. Or maybe it was just a coincidence. Maybe they were just there all the time. It's a disgusting state of affairs altogether, and saved by the sound of a man's voice. Thank God that man came along, whoever he was. He even spoke out. Heaven only knows what could have happened if that hadn't have been the case.
Opposing bail police said that given the recent significant public disorder, they have strong concerns the 14-year-old accused could leave Northern Ireland.
Could leave Northern Ireland? Well, one's already bolted. One's already bolted back to Romania. So that's the video clip. Now I want to look at the bail conditions. Now watch this. Okay, watch this. The lies that continue to be told. Detective Constable said the bail applicant denied any criminal activity, then refused to answer police questions during interviews. Turning to bail objections, the Detective Constable told the District Judge Trevor Brown police have strong concerns there's a risk he may leave the jurisdiction. Well, one's already gone. Within hours of the defendant being arrested, a co-accused had been identified, had left the country, and we believe he's residing in Romania. So it didn't take long. Didn't take long for him to pull himself together, pull together his travel pack, and bolt out of the country. We believe, given the significant public disorder that descended after the incident, there's a risk that if released, this defendant will leave the jurisdiction, and we're not content that any conditions can be put in place to prevent that. So in other words, we can't stop him. We can't do anything about it. We are powerless. Powerless to stop people from leaving your country, powerless to stop people from entering your country. Now listen to this. Listen to this. She added that while a proposed bail address outside of Ballymena had been put forward, there were concerns about that as well. Listen. The detective constable explained that while the occupant had been put forward as a relative, she told officers who spoke to her that she was actually just a friend of the family rather than a relative. They can't stop lying. The officer said police had also ascertained there were 3 children living in that property, including a 14-year-old girl. The detective constable said it was also a concern that another family with a young child appeared to be in the house, a property she described as being in poor state. So there was a woman in that house with 3 children, including a 14-year-old girl, and another family there with a young child. Should this place not be getting investigated in and of itself? Police don't believe any conditions will satisfy their concerns, and we are aware there's an opportunity to surrender passports and ID cards. However, listen to this. We believe there are other ways of leaving the country, she concluded. In other words, you don't need a passport. You don't need identification to leave the country. That's what it says. We believe, and this is from a police officer, we believe there are other ways of leaving the country. Defence counsel Con O'Neill said none of those concerns have been raised with the defence before the hearing, saying if they had, we could have dealt with them. No, you couldn't. Or maybe you could. Maybe you could have done a workaround there. The defendant had voluntarily undergone DNA testing and an identity parade. He suspected that given the multitude of objections from the police, the court adjourned the bail application. So there you have it. There you have it. Sordid, disgusting lies. It's like you keep turning over stones and there's just more cockroaches underneath. That's the state of play as per now. Let me know what you think in the comment section underneath this video. Please feel free to share this video. Let people know what's happening. Let people know the shambles that Ireland, north, south, east, west, and the middle has become. Disintegrating before our very eyes in real time. So subscribe to the channel also if you haven't already done so, if I haven't traumatized you too much. But for now, I'm Rick Munn. This is No Risk, No Reward Media. Over and out.